When you hear the name Meryl Streep, you probably think of dazzling Oscars, iconic roles, and a career that seems untouchable. She is the actress other actors are measured against, a living legend. But what if behind that brilliance lies a very different story? A story marked not just by triumph, but by crushing grief, personal battles, and tragedies that could have destroyed anyone else. This is the untold side of Meryl Streep, the heartbreaks, the pressures, and the hidden struggles that shaped Hollywood's greatest actress. The weight of perfection. For Streep, the burden of greatness began long before Hollywood. In school, she reinvented herself from what she once described as a bossy little bully sort of girl into a high-achieving student who seemed to excel in everything: cheerleading, music, leadership. Biographer Michael Schulman noted, "It was kind of like winning Best Actress of her high school." At Yale Drama School, her unmatched talent won her role after role. But instead of admiration, it stirred resentment. When she begged to bow out of some productions, the school replied, "No, you're too good. You have to be in every play." That perfection, while dazzling, carried with it loneliness and relentless pressure, a theme that would shadow her entire career. John Cazale, Love and Loss. In the 1970s, Streep found love with actor John Cazale, best known as Fredo Corleone in The Godfather. Their relationship blossomed quickly. They lived together and became one of theater's most respected couples. But in 1977, tragedy struck when Cazale was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. Streep stood by his side unwaveringly. She even worked tirelessly to cover his medical bills, taking roles like in the miniseries Holocaust, where, despite her anguish, she delivered an Emmy-winning performance. The same year, she and Cazale appeared together in The Deer Hunter, a film that not only won Best Picture but earned her an Oscar nomination. In March 1978, as Cazale's health failed, Streep was with him until the very end. Biographer Michael Schulman recalled, "She was always strong-willed, persistent, hopeful, and applied all her spirit and strength to taking care of him." His final words to her were, "It's all right, Meryl," before he slipped away. Streep later admitted, "I was emotionally blitzed. All my energy was channeled into my work. That grief became fuel, transforming her career, but at an immense personal cost." A controversial marriage. Just months later, Streep married sculptor Don Gummer. Some friends and family questioned her quick decision, suspecting she was still reeling from Cazale's death. Streep defended her choice, telling Ladies' Home Journal, "It just seemed right. A lot of men had asked me to marry them, but it had never really seemed right before. The marriage, while unconventional in timing, gave her stability and became one of Hollywood's longest unions. Yet, it also highlighted how the world rarely allowed her space to grieve privately." The dark side of Kramer versus Kramer. Her 1979 breakthrough, Kramer vs. Kramer, won her an Oscar, but behind the film's success was turmoil. Streep clashed with Dustin Hoffman, who reportedly blurred the line between method acting and cruelty. According to Vanity Fair, he provoked her by referencing her late boyfriend and even slapped her on set. Reflecting years later, she told the New York Times, "This was my first movie and my first take, and he just slapped me." It was overstepping. Even so, she fought for her character's depth. writing her own courtroom monologue, proof that even in grief and adversity, her artistry refused to be diminished. Fame without privacy. By the 1980s, Streep was everywhere, but with fame came scrutiny she despised. For a while there, it was either me or the Ayatollah on the covers of national magazines. It was excessive hype, she told Time. Her Time magazine cover, meant as a milestone, instead made her feel sick inside. She even resorted to disguises, like wigs, to reclaim anonymity, but her presence was too unmistakable. Fame, ironically, became another prison. Battling sexism and ageism. Streep has been candid about Hollywood sexism. I have experienced things, mostly when I was young and pretty. There was a lot of expletive behavior that was inexcusable, she told the New York Times. Her battles didn't end with youth. By 40, she was only offered witch roles. I was offered witches because I was old at 40, she revealed. She feared her career was over, but instead of retreating, she fought back. Funding initiatives like the Writers Lab to support women screenwriters over 40, challenging an industry that routinely discards women. Public controversies. Despite her dignity, even Streep has stumbled into controversies. In 2015, during promotions for Suffragette, she called herself a humanist rather than a feminist, angering many. That same campaign featured her in a T-shirt reading, "I'd rather be a rebel than a slave," a quote criticized as racially insensitive when stripped of context. And at the 2017 Golden Globes, her speech criticizing Donald Trump sparked both admiration and ferocious backlash. Trump himself fired back, calling her one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood. Streep suddenly became not just a star, but a political lightning rod. The Weinstein Shadow. In 2017, as Harvey Weinstein's abuses came to light, Streep faced accusations of complicity due to her past collaborations with him. Critics pointed to her 2012 remark calling him God. Posters even appeared in Los Angeles with her image reading, "She knew." Streep forcefully denied the claims, telling HuffPost, "I did not know about Weinstein's crimes. He needed me much more than I needed him, and he made sure I didn't know." Yet, the ordeal was a reminder of how even icons are vulnerable to public suspicion. Heartbreak in her later years. In 2023, Streep confirmed that her marriage to Don Gummer had ended after decades together. They had already been separated for 6 years, though the public never knew. With characteristic dignity, her statement read, "While they will always care for each other, they have chosen lives apart." Despite the quiet heartbreak, Streep once described the secret to her marriage as goodwill and willingness to bend and to shut up every once in a while. Even in separation, she carried herself with grace, refusing the messy dramas typical of Hollywood divorces. The legacy of resilience. Through every tragedy, the devastating loss of John Cazale, the suffocating weight of perfection, the sexism of Hollywood, the blows of controversy, and the quiet collapse of her marriage, Meryl Streep has endured. Her resilience has shaped not only her artistry, but her humanity. She once said, "I wanted to find a place where I could carry it, the pain, forever and still function." That place has been her work, luminous, transformative, and unflinchingly real. Meryl Streep's story reminds us that greatness often walks hand in hand with grief. And perhaps it is this duality, triumph laced with tragedy, that has made her one of the most profoundly human performers the world has ever known.